Stay home, save lives.
In continuation to the chapter resources, I'm continuing with the next topic that is based on the stages of development. How the resources are based on the development, that they can be classified into two as potential resource and your actual resource. Potential resources are those resources which are there in the nature, but because of lack of science and technology, we are unable to develop them. We are not presently using them, but they have a promising future, as it can be used by our future generation with the expertise, with their what called future advancement in science and technology. Okay, so that comes under your potential resource. They have the ability, they have the capacity, but presently we are not using them. Now the second is your actual resource. What is actual resource? The resources which we are actually using in our present context. We know the quantity and the quality of the resources, and that is why we are using it. The technological know-how, the science and technology, and the utility, the quantity, we know everything, we know, and that is why we are using, and thereby these resources are helping us to for the rapid growth of our industrialization and economic growth of the country. Fine. Now we are coming to the next one, that is your on the basis of our ownership, how the resources can be classified. On the basis of our ownership, resources can be classified into four. Number one is your first one is your individual or your personal resource. What is personal or individual resource? The resources which you are owning by your own. Okay, one ownership is there. Like your father is having the land. Okay, you are owning your computer, that is owned, that property is yours, that is owned by one person, or it is a personal resource. Okay, like the land, okay, is owned by your father or your mother or your grandfather. Okay, so these are your individual resources that we are owning. Number two is your community resources. What are community resources? Now when the community is owning, like you are living in a colony. Okay, you are living in a colony, and your in the colony you have a park, you have a garden that is owned by the community. Not, it is not individual, but all of we have the right to go there, we have the right to play there and sit there. Fine. Then comes your national resources. What are national resources? The third is your national resource, the resources which the nation is owning, like the roads, the railways, okay, forest, wildlife. These are owned by our nation. So these resources are known as national resources. Next is your world resources. What are world resources? It is known as the sum total of the resources of all the countries, is known as, commonly known as world resources. Like we all have the ownership over the water bodies, we all have the ownership over the air. Fine. So after a certain nauticals, we are allowed, everybody has the power, or everybody has the what called ownership over the water resource and the air resource. Fine. Now I'm coming to the next topic, that is on the basis of your distribution of resources, how the resources can be classified. It is classified into two. One is ubiquitous resource, another is your localized resource. What is localized resource? First of all, let us know about the localized resource. The localized resources are those resources which are locally found. Fine, locally found. Like your, say for example, Nagpur, orange of Nagpur, right? That is only found in Nagpur. Fine. Suppose the basmati rice, it is found in your, specifically of your UP. Fine. Now your Sarvati gehu, it is for specifically for your MP. Right. So these are specified, or it is localized, it is very local to a particular area. They are known as your localized resources. Okay, like that mineral resources are also there. Fine. Now we are coming to the ubiquitous resources. What are ubiquitous resources? The resources which are found everywhere on this earth. Okay, like sunlight, wind. Okay, these are found everywhere. Soil is found, different types of soil you will be finding, but you will get everywhere. Fine. So these are on the basis of distribution of your what resources, as in the widely how they are distributed. Fine. Now, how the resources, next topic is your utilization of your natural resources. How we can utilize these resources. Number one, the four things we have to keep in our mind. Number one is whether we are able to access them or not. Whether we will be able to take them out or not. Found it, whether we have found the proper resource or not. Okay, that is your accessibility. Right? The place where the resources are found, whether we are able to take it out or not properly. That is accessibility. Okay? We are accessible or not. We are able to take out or not. Number two is the quantity, the quality. Okay? The quality and the quantity should be known to us. Okay? If the resource is there and the quality is not up to mark, there is no point of taking out the resource. So it will be not of any use. Okay, so the quantity, how much in quantity and quality it is there, if we are getting a proper information about it, then only it will be beneficial for us. Okay, then only it is worth taking out, the resources worth taking out. Fine. Then next is your awareness of the people about the presence and the utilization of the resources. If the people are not knowing how to use it, how it will be, how we will be using it, and how much it is present there, then it is of no use again. If we don't know, if demand is not there, then how the supply will come? Exactly like that, resources, if we don't know the usage of the resource, then it is not worth. Okay, you will be using it. Fine. Next is the cost involved in acquiring the resource. If the resource, how much we will be taking out, if the cost is more than what we are getting actually in return, if it is not benefiting the country or the nation, it will be no use. Economically, it should be profitable to the nation, profitable to that particular company. Okay, then only the resource will be of use. Okay, now in this chapter, this much for today, and in the next class we'll know more about the other resources, other things. Until that time, you will read the chapter very carefully, and whatever the notes I'll be giving, that you will have to note down in your copies and read the chapter very carefully. Okay, thank you so much.